I could never be, I could never be, I could never be ready for. So there's this concept, I'm not exactly sure what the origin of it is, but I know it from Casey Neistat's movie, My Girlfriend Candace, and it's the concept of big dreams and little dreams. In the video, he explains how in life we have big dreams, like our careers, where we want to live, having a family. Then we have little dreams, like driving a nice car, learning a skill, making out with girls. Big dreams are who are core to who we are. It's what we think about often and pursue over long periods of time, sometimes our entire lives. Little dreams, however, may seem like a big deal, but over time we're more likely to give these types of dreams up and change as we do over time. This is an idea that I've used in my own life to figure out what's really important to me and where I should put my priorities. A character in animation that I think would really be interesting to explore using this concept is Greg from Steven Universe. When you look at how things panned out for him, the relationship between his character and this concept may explain some things. Greg is one of the only characters in Steven Universe we see actually grow up. Yeah, I know we don't really see him as a kid, and the overall story of Steven Universe is a coming-of-age story of Steven, but Greg is the only one we've seen transition from a wild young man into a father and a somewhat responsible adult. And I know that sometimes Greg isn't always the most mature, sometimes he's kind of childish, and you could say he's just a big kid, but he is an adult, and we do see that development over time. When Greg's youngest version was introduced, he had one primary goal, and that was to become a rock star. And then he met Rose, and his new goal became her. And he ultimately chose Rose over the possibility of realizing this dream of becoming a rock star, which begs the question of how big that dream actually was. On the surface, it may seem like Greg was willing to give up on that dream, but I don't think the situation is that simple. The question of, was Greg's dream of being a rock star a big dream that was core to his personality, or was it just a little dream that was very important to him at the time, but when faced with the question of Rose or this, it didn't seem so important? And I don't think the answer to that question is as simple as saying that he chose Rose, therefore being with Rose is a big dream, and being a rock star was not important to him. Looking a bit closer, even though it's not impossible to be a father, husband, and a rock star, it's not so practical, because music is one of those industries where you're either very successful and making a lot of money doing it, or you're not so successful and you're really struggling. So just because Greg kicked Mari out of his van and opened up a car wash doesn't necessarily mean that he gave up on his dreams. He never stopped playing music, and he even shared his love for music with his son. But Greg doesn't really do any gigs, he's not playing out of any garages or at any restaurants or bars. He's not really promoting himself as a musician. So here's my analysis. It seems as though for Greg, being a rock star wasn't necessarily a big dream, but being a musician was. So when Greg was confronted with the decision of being with Rose or being a rock star, it wasn't difficult for him to choose. But what he couldn't bear to let go of was music. You can be a musician without crowds of people or record deals or tons of money, but Greg did get that check at the end of the day. What Greg wanted deep down in his soul wasn't the flashing lights and the swarms of screaming fans. It was to play music. But you can't just sit around picking your guitar all day and do nothing else. Homeboys gotta eat. And maybe Greg didn't have the goal of necessarily being a rock star that far out. His most likely mindset was, this road allows me to make music the world can enjoy for the rest of my life and also make plenty of money doing what I love. But what his dream wasn't considering was the travel and the politics and all the bullshit that comes with a career like that. It was just some extra baggage that came along with the price of doing what he wanted to do. So in the end, Greg did what a lot of aspiring rock stars end up doing. Got married, kind of, had a kid, and most prominently, he got a day job, all while playing music on the side. And that brings us to the Greg we know today. For Greg, being a rock star was just a little dream. And if you think about it, he actually did achieve his big dreams because he got to continue to be a musician and he got to be with Rose with the addition of having Steven. My name is Tom from the Roundtable, and that's it. I got nothing left to say. Things start and things end, and isn't it lovely in theory, but I could never be, I could
This video has been powered by Patreon. If you want to give us some more support, head to patreon.com/roundtablevids, become a patron, and get some awesome perks. Thanks for watching another video on the Roundtable. If you want to get more involved with our community and watch videos from Let's Talk with Tom, Voxbox, and more, click the video right here. Or if you want to get some more of the animation goodness, watch some Crystal Clear or Meeting Monday, click the video right here. And please, don't forget to subscribe.